Disclosure before we get into anything. This has worked for me in the past for 2K22 WWE last year on the PlayStation 5. I came to PC Game Supply. I'm going to give you a link down below in the description box. What makes Xbox special compared to PlayStation, which is the platform I normally play on, is that you don't need to create a second account, make a new address, a new payment method, and all that kind of crap. With Xbox, you could just use the same account, okay? And then as we go along, I'm just going to share some information with you. Okay, so go there. You would have to buy 4 of the $15 ones and 1 of the $100 ones because the game is $160 New Zealand, which is $135 Canadian with taxes, or $97 US. So it works out to be the same, even with the currency exchange. It's not like you're paying more, even though on paper it looks like it's more expensive, because the deluxe edition is a whopping $160 New Zealand. Other pieces of information that's important to state before I get into the whole thing here. No matter what store you go to when you change your location, it's going to say that you own that game's version. So if you go to Russia, it'll say you own the Russian one. If you go to China, New Zealand, North America, it just tells you that you just own the game. So for all I know, you just need to buy the regular standard North American game if you're in the US or Canada, and then just switch your region to New Zealand, and maybe you'll be able to play on Monday, March the 13th at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know. Either which way, it's not a big deal for me, as I don't mind being on a Series X. I do mainly game on PS5, but if I can stave off a little bit of the stress that I put on my PlayStation going into like a good few years that I've had it now, whereas I've only had my Xbox for a few months, it's fresher, it's newer, okay? All right, so let's get into it. So the first thing you want to do, go to settings. If it's not there, it's above my bald pumpkin head. Once you've gone to the website, right, and you bought those 4 $15 cards, the 1 $100 cards. What am I doing here? Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay, so settings, go to system, go to language and location. Make sure you don't change your time. Don't go here and change your time zone, because by leaving it at where you actually are, it'll tell you the accurate date and time that you can play the New Zealand version of the game, if this whole thing even works to begin with. Go to language and location, go down to New Zealand, select it, and restart your console. Then everything's going to look the same. You won't even be able to tell the difference. Then you're going to head on over to the store. And then from here, you're going to go down to redeem, punch in your 5 codes, your 4 $15, your 1 $100. And then you're going to go and actually buy the game. So I had like bookmarked it, or whatever it's called. See, owned, pre-ordered. So you would select that. Let's just do like choose a different edition, right? Because this is very important, what I'm about to share with you. So here's what you would do. You would click on the pre-order, right? And then what you would do for pay with, what you're going to do is click on it and select your Microsoft account. You can see New Zealand. I got 5 cents left. Okay, because the game, yeah. So I got 5 cents left. So you select that, and then it's going to ask you your address. I panicked because I went to buy and it was grayed out and it just wouldn't work. So calm down. Make your address 1234 Auckland for the city, and then the postal code. It's got to be a New Zealand postal code, which is a 4-digit thing. Just punch in 1234. Okay, with your Microsoft account thing there when you redeem it, and everything's just going to work. Okay, it's just going to work. So, yeah, I just hope that this whole thing does in fact work. Again, owned, pre-ordered. And when we look at it, March the 13th, 2023 at 7 a.m. See, there are games that release globally and locally. Globally, everybody gets the game at the same time. So in New Zealand, it would have been marked like March 11th or whatever, 12th or 13th. It would have been a different date is my point, but it isn't. It releases in New Zealand, their time, March the 14th at midnight. And a proof of that is change to the New Zealand store and then put your New Zealand time zone as well, where I showed you in the beginning, and it'll say March the 14th at midnight. But they're in the future. New Zealand is the furthest in the future of any other place on Earth. That's why people call this the New Zealand trick, because you're virtually moving to do this. And again, why I feel confident is I've done it before just a year ago on PlayStation. But they were actual separate physical digital titles. That's why I had to rebuy the game twice on PS5. Whereas here, in closing, March the 13th, 2023, right? And the game is downloading there. Let's take a look at the size. I did the deluxe because I think the icon's just not worth it. Someone on Twitter was like, "Oh, why is it 69 gigs for you on the X? I'm on the Series S and it's only 59 gigs." So being the cringy comedian that I am, I said, come on now. You got to be X-rated to do the 69. You can't be S-rated, right? You only get to do a 59 in that case. Got a few laughs. I laughed at myself. So yeah, so hopefully this works. I'm going to be interested to know if somehow somebody bought the North American version of the game but switched their console to New Zealand, will it still let them play early, right? That's the part I still don't know. Because now, I just showed you the date, let's do it again. You know what? Let's go back to Canada. And we're going to restart it, and I'm going to show you that it says March the 14th at midnight, because that's when it's supposed to release. It's very interesting how that thing works, the whole thing. Like I said, this thing, I've never done it before. So, like my warning in the beginning, only do this if you don't mind it potentially just not working. In the sense of you not being able to play that one day extra early, right? See? There it is there. Let it connect to my Wi-Fi. Oh, I gotta turn on my controller. That helps because I rebooted. We'll go here. Manage. We'll view it in the store. See, you own this again. Tells me that I own it. Doesn't matter what... see? March the 14th, 2023. At midnight. And another thing, too, and it shows like some ID stuff, and I don't know if it shows my IP, so I don't want to do it. But if you go here, and you go to file info at the bottom, it's going to say something about Anaconda USA file ID and all this kind of stuff. And no matter what store you're on, it keeps saying that. I don't know if it's because it originated in the US, like that's where the game was created. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too much into it. But I do find this whole thing very, very intriguing. And for me, ultimately, in the end, it's just not a big deal. You know, that split second, your heart pounding, go, oh, I could play it. It's like, yeah, you're too early. It's like, okay, so there you have it. Hopefully I explained everything. And yeah, so I'm going back to New Zealand just because it doesn't make a difference to me. Let me know down below if you've ever done this thing on Xbox before. Again, in closing, what makes me think that this is even semi-feasible and possible? I've done it before. Just a short year ago with WWE 2K23 on PS5. And I went to that same website that I linked you. I've spent near $300 on that website. So I do absolutely trust them. No questions there. Okay? So there you have it. If you liked the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm. If you didn't like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. I'll bend it in half, twist it, break it off in your ass, and also make sure every time you buy a card, it actually goes in my Microsoft account. That way I can get some more games. So yeah, there you have it. Did I say if you want to subscribe, you can. If not, whatever. Thanks for stopping. Did I already say that? I don't even remember. I'm so freaking all over the place. In case you're curious, bipolar, OCD, ADHD. I got a lot of funky stuff going on. Literally, that's why my brain goes a million miles an hour. Especially when it comes to wrestling. Oh my God. Like, holy sweet pineapple. It's just insane how much this just makes me happy. Like, I'm more excited to watch this channel grow to wherever it's going to end up growing than my near 30,000 sub YouTube channel that I predominantly have been working on for a while. So, yeah. Take care. Comment down below, whatever. And we'll go from there. And obviously, on Monday, March the 13th, at the Think there, at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to fire it up, and we're going to see what happens. It's going to be right, and you're not too early. Okay. All right. 10 minutes. Jesus. Bye for now.